This is exactly what the Dallas Mavericks need, especially with all the injuries that we currently have. As we all know, the Dallas Mavericks, when healthy, is one of the biggest teams in the NBA when you look at our depth chart when it comes to size and length. But the only problem is we really haven't been that healthy. At this time of this recording, the Dallas Mavericks currently don't have Anthony Davis, as he's going to be out for at least another week before he's reassessed. We know that Daniel Gafford re-aggravated his ankle, and then there's Derrick Lively, who at this time isn't playing in back-to-back games. But over the last several games, instead of choosing to go with Dwight Powell as our starting center, the Dallas Mavericks have instead opted in to trust their rookie two-way player, Musa Cisse, also known as the Big Moose, who has been providing amazing support as a two-way rookie. He provides energy, electric blocking. His interior defense is amazing. And although he doesn't play a lot of minutes, he provides a lot of good things for this Dallas Mavericks team. And although we are 4-11 and these losses just keep piling up, when you look at Musa Cisse, you really do see someone who could potentially be a key piece to this team down the road. Many Mavericks fans are no strangers to the fact that we've relied on two-way players in the past like Brandon Williams, who earned a standard NBA contract, and Musa Cisse looks like he could be the next player to do the same thing. So in this video, we're going to take a look at Musa Cisse, see how well he's been playing lately, what he provides to the Dallas Mavericks, and what could the future potentially look like for the young Moose. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 22,999 subscribers, guys. If any of you guys are watching that's not subscribed, please, just one person subscribe. We get to 23K, then we're only one subscriber closer to 25K. So if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, make sure you subscribe. I'd appreciate it greatly. But the Dallas Mavericks, we've been dealing with injuries, and this is now the norm for us. We just always are injured. I mean, obviously, every NBA team deals with injuries, but it does feel like as a Dallas Mavericks fan, we're constantly hearing injuries, and sometimes from the same players with the same injuries. And like I said in the intro, we are currently without Anthony Davis. He'll get reassessed in about a week. Not sure if he'll be back in a week, but he'll get reassessed in a week. We'll see if he needs to miss any more time. We know that Daniel Gafford messed up his ankle a few games ago, and he may be back tonight. He may not be. And then there's Derrick Lively, who currently is on injury management, which means he's not playing in back-to-back games. But like I said, we do have Dwight Powell, who looks pretty good this season. In some games, he's looked very serviceable, much better than years prior. But instead of trusting Dwight Powell, our veteran who's always going to be on the Dallas Mavericks organization, we decided to go with Moussa Cisse instead. The rookie two-way undersized center, as he's only about 6'10", but that size doesn't really matter. When you look at Moussa Cisse on the court, first of all, the dude's jacked. He looks extremely strong. I know Dwight Powell looks very strong, but so does Moussa Cisse. Looks like he could just body anybody down low, and we've seen it. Electrifying dunks, the lobs, the blocks. This man is a walking block party. He plays with a high motor and a lot of energy that a lot of teams just can't contain. And the other night, when we played against the Minnesota Timberwolves, they really couldn't attack the basket when we played Moussa Cisse. They had to find other ways to score, as he was going to jump at anything in the paint. He was not allowing easy buckets at all. And if we take a look at his game, the only real downside is he's just very raw. I mean, he's a rookie. He's an undrafted rookie on a two-way contract. We shouldn't have high expectations, but even so, he's still surprising a lot of people. A lot of Mavericks fans love what they see from him, but there is so much more that he could improve on. One of the key things that he does seem to have a problem with is fouling, and that comes with time and just learning the game of basketball at the NBA level. But there's a lot of promise there that Moussa Cisse could be a very good piece for us for a very long time. But if you wanted to break down his game even further, Moussa Cisse averages 1.4 blocks. That will be tied 12th in the NBA, misses qualified stat leaders by just one game. He shoots 72.2% from the floor. Obviously, he's at the rim, and he scores very well at the rim. That will be third in the NBA, but he misses qualified stat leaders. Must be on pace for 300 field goals made. But his per 36 is 12.1 points per game, 12.9 rebounds per game, and 4.4 blocks per game. If we had a backup center like Moussa Cisse with per 36, averaging 12, 12, and 4, that would be absolutely insane. Now, obviously, his per 36 would probably show he would average about 8 fouls a game, which I know can't happen. You foul 6 times and you're out. But regardless of the fouling issue, Moussa Cisse shows promise. And one of the key things on this Dallas Mavericks team, I think one of the positive takeaways, is all of our two-way guys are good. Miles Kelly is a three-point sniper, which we haven't really seen too much from him, but we know that he can shoot the ball very well well from 3. We have Ryan Nembhard, who is dealing with the knee injury right now, but we know he will be an amazing backup guard for us in the future. And then to round it off, we have Musa Cisse, who is surprising fans left and right and earning the trust of Jason Kidd, and that is why he'll continue to get some minutes. But we do have to be somewhat careful. Last season, when everybody and their mama was getting hurt, we had to trust our two-way guys night after night after night, to the point where eventually they just couldn't play any more games. We were having to give 10-day contracts to just anybody that would accept it, so we didn't have to forfeit games. Although I love seeing Musa Cisse, and I'm excited to see if he plays even more tonight. Knowing that he's only eligible for a set amount of games, we don't want to run into an issue like we did last year where can't play any more games, we got to go find someone else. But I do hope that we do convert his contract to an actual contract sometime down the road. But if we want to break down Musa Cisse's game even further, Noah Weber had to point this out, saying Musa Cisse has been a bright spot over the last few games. He's a capable lob threat, gives 110% on both ends of the floor, and has shown some promise as a pick-and-roll defender. He wasn't named the Big 12 Co-Defensive Player of the Year in 2022 for nothing, and we see that. In the pick-and-roll on the defensive end, he is a monster, lockdown. Some bigs aren't really that good on the defensive end as far as being on the perimeter. They're kind of slow and lumbering. They get blown by fast by smaller guards, but that's not the case for Musa Cisse. If a smaller guard does have a quick first step, Musa Cisse is on their back ready to block it off the backboards. There was an incident where they called goaltending. I didn't want to believe it, but they called goaltending, but that's fine. Musa Cisse needs to continue to swat at everything in his space because we need to make sure that the other team comes prepared to deal with a shot blocker like himself. But we got more data we want to break down. Musa Cisse has 14 blocks in 108 minutes played this season. Nobody in the NBA has more blocks in fewer minutes played this season, and it's not close. Rookie leaders in blocks. You have Ryan Kalkbrenner with 27, and then there's Musa Cisse with 14. Then there's Cooper Flagg with 11. We know that Cooper Flagg likes to get up and get a few blocks himself. But knowing out of all the rookies, we have the second and third most in blocks on our team. That aids in the fact that we do have some of the best defense in the NBA. Top 10, maybe even top 5 in the NBA right now at the time of recording. But Musa Cisse, 14 blocks, 108 minutes, and he's not getting a lot of time. He's on a two-way contract. He's out there having to compete against other rookies that got drafted in the first round, even the second round. But someone who was undrafted, two-way contract, getting those blocks, you can't really just go out there and find a young guy like Musa Cisse who will come in with just the most energy, a high motor, knowing that you may not play in the next game. You may have to sit a few games. Your minutes are up in the air on any given night, but he comes out with the right attitude, with the right mindset to make the right play. And although, yes, we do see him make mistakes, he fouls a lot and all this here. Yes, we know he is a rookie. He's very raw, but he has a lot of talent that if you can just refine that, get him in the gym with Tyson Chandler over for a full season, and I promise you Musa Cisse could potentially be our best center, but who knows? But a few other things that we definitely want to take a look at right here. Pause if you want to read it, but this is a Musa Cisse appreciation post. Cisse's impact, 6.1 blocks per 100 possessions, 4.7 blocks per 36 minutes, 10.7% block rate with 107 defensive rating. To put this in perspective, Victor Wembanyama has 5 blocks per 100 possessions, 3.7 blocks per 36 minutes, and a 9.9% block rate and 102 defensive rating. Having role players who make big impacts in short periods of time is huge for a team. Not only does it let starters get rest, but having cheap contracts make impacts brings the total value of the roster up. Teams need this. Excited to watch him grow. In Mavs TPS report, I share the same sentiments. I'm very excited for Musa Cisse. I love watching him play. I love just every single time he gets on the floor, you know he's going to do something special. But in tonight's game, we may not see Musa Cisse as some of our guys could potentially be back. We do have an injury report for the game tonight against the New York Knicks where Cooper Flagg is available. He's dealing with a right thumb sprain. He's got a little brace on, but he'll be available. Daniel Gafford has been upgraded to probable, the same as Derrick Lively. Anthony Davis still out. Dante Exum out. Kyrie Irving's out. And Ryan Nembhard's out. So knowing that Daniel Gafford and Derrick Lively are possibly coming back, we may not see Musa Cisse tonight. However, if one of them, or maybe both of them, are considered to be out, we can definitely expect some Musa Cisse minutes, and it definitely won't disappoint. So far, he's been playing very well in almost every single game. It feels like he's getting better. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How do you feel about Musa Cisse? Do you think that he could potentially be one of the best centers that we've seen in a long time? Or am I just gassing up a two-way undrafted rookie with no real potential and this is a nothing burger? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.